Well, hello folks, welcome to what is one of our last flights we'll be doing of this series that I've been doing, retracing my steps, reliving my memories and our recent visit to India and to Nepal and exploring the Himalayas, and we've been having a good time. I've been certainly having a good time reliving my memories, and we are back at the airport that we arrived in, here at the original Bangkok airport, Mueang Airport as it's now known. It's a very busy airport, as you can see. I think it's one of the oldest airports in the Southeast Asia here. This is one that I made. The default one was pretty lacking, but there's now a good developer who's done this airport, and I'm definitely looking at getting it. I think my one's still on FlightSimTO, but it's got a bad review because the jetways are broken for someone who's marked me down on that. But that was through a one of those sim updates, and this is my second ever airport that I did in FlightSim, learning the art of building the airport, and I decided my first airport was Auckland Airport and my second airport was this one here, so definitely tackling the big projects. But yeah, I've got all the parking bays all set and all the apron lights. Definitely made the airport more alive and more realistic, but like I say, it's very rough around the edges. It's got everything that you need, and yeah, so here we are, Mueang Airport, formerly the main airport into Bangkok / Thailand. I could imagine this was bursting at the seams when they finally built that new airport. Even got not too sure how realistic that is. I'm sure they'll fly to the main airport around Mueang Air. I can't wait till someone does like the Phoenix does a really good quality A340. But yeah, here we are in Mueang Airport. I'm gonna fly off to Kuala Lumpur Airport, and this is the airport I probably would have landed at had the new Bangkok airport had any delays or anything, but it was all on time. But I could have very easily, I was like one of the first passengers to arrive at the new airport, not like the first passenger, but one of the first weeks in service. So when I arrived there, it was a very brand new airport, very for me it was the most fanciest airport that I've ever landed at. But yeah, here we are, flying the Airbus A310, which is a really cool aircraft, built by Inibuilds, but it's free for on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as part of that massive update that they did a while back. So yeah, here we are. We're going to turn it on now, get it all set up, so just bear with me as I power it on. The battery is... Where are the batteries to turn this on? Here they are, here. Right, I don't know if the APU's on automatically. Yeah, it's all hooked up. We'll just have all of these open just to give it an alive feel. Alright, we can now turn on the APU. Start that RLS aligning. There's 3 up here that you need to turn on, then we'll come down here. We'll leave those off just for now. We'll turn on our logo and nav lights. Turn on this in the number 2 fuel tank here, and we'll get the APU powered up and get that aircon into the aircraft. Is there anything else I need to turn on while I'm here? I would get the oxygen flowing. Right. Now let's do this flight plan. So we'll turn on the terrain radar just because it's there. And I think we have to do this. So this is the thing about Inibuilds. The only sort of slightly negative thing about the Inibuilds Airbus A310 is it doesn't have any SimBrief integration, and it also doesn't have the landing calculator. Everything else is all nicely modelled in here, but you do get that feeling of being in a free aircraft. Everything's there, but there's just one or two things that obviously they've kept aside for their the premium aircraft, such as the A300. But everything's all modelled. It's just that a couple little things that make you realise that it isn't a pay version. This is definitely a free aircraft, which I'm definitely fine with. It's definitely cool to get this as a free aircraft, free update, or free whatever download. Definitely not complaining, but it would be cool if they, I'm not too sure if it's something to do with a SOBO, but it would have been cool if they allowed had a premium edition for us to at a cost to buy and download. So I do wish that they had that option there, because it would be cool to have this as a premium edition aircraft with a landing calculator and SimBrief integration. But we've got what we've got, and I'm happy with this. It's just entering in this data here. But yeah, you have to enter in your flight details, then you go align ILSs, and then we come up here, we'll turn all of these on before we forget. These won't turn on if you don't align the ILSs, they just cancel each other out. And now we'll just carry on planning our aircraft. So we have to do all of this manually, which is nothing wrong with that. Right, we are going to be, block fuel is going to be just over 13 tons. I can live with that for another extra ton of fuel. And our passenger, well, we've got 199 passengers on SimBrief, but it's more about making it equal this. It's a bit out. So what's our estimated takeoff weight? It's going to be 25 ton. It'd be cool if you could just type it in. I reckon that would be the best way to do it. Right, I'm happy with that. Apply that load to the aircraft and apply that live, and we will enter in this detail here. So 14.3, zero fuel weight is 10.2, 110.2. It's going to be slightly, yeah, it sort of doesn't really, I thought that's the gross weight there. I'm not too sure why it doesn't correspond with that. And I don't think when you add in the it doesn't really do anything to that when I entered in the yeah, it's just interesting, this aircraft, this little things that don't seem to be adding up. Center gravity, this thing here, this is what you want to add into this field here, so 22.6. Enter, and that's our init page done. I wonder if we can set our, while we're here, set our trims, so that's 1.8 up, so it's quite hard to see, isn't it? I can't see it at all. I can't see because I've just got terrible glare on my laptop. But just see now, so just want that little marker. That's perfect. That would do. Right, we will now. Alright, we need to enter in our flight plan. That's definitely one thing we do need to enter. So we'll come down to here. What's our takeoff? So we're going to take off from runway 21 left. Right, that sounds perfect to us. 21 left. That sounds about right too. Insert. And we'll now bring up our sim brief flight plan and enter in these waypoints. One thing I do like about this Airbus A310, you can just click on that, click on the airway, select the corresponding one, and then find the relative one waypoint on here. So we're going to passive, this one here, and then from passive Y514 to Emperor, perfect. And from Emperor we're taking G466 to flip, and that's our flight plan done. I'm just going to check just to make sure which way the wind's going, which way the wind is coming from. So it's calm in Kuala Lumpur right now, so I've got no idea which runway these aircraft will be using. On our Navigraph's chart, we will see what it is saying. 32 right, which is what we'll be using. So it's quite a complex approach this, but this Airbus A310 will surely be able to handle it. So we'll enter in our flight plan. We need to come down to here and we'll enter in our star on our arrival. 32 right. We're looking for the pulley 1G. So many different arrivals and approaches for this airport. And our transition is this one here. Perfect. That's that done. Now we want to go figure out our takeoff performance. We need to go back into our airport data to get our runway length. So this is in meters, so 350. Runway heading is 209. Our wind, what's our wind doing? Yeah, 170. Oh, wrong one. 170 at 8. And that's about it. That's all good. So now we're going to calculate our just our weight is, what's that again? Our weight according to this, 124.5. And we'll turn off our packs for our takeoff, calculate, and now that brings it up. So we're going to set our flex temp over here. So go flex temp, and it was 53, wasn't it? 59. And we want to 58.62, so we put in 58 down here, 158, 162, and then we set our V2 speed, and now on this here, so 165, wasn't it? And then we will set our clean speed 224 by pushing this little up button and pre-select 224. And then while we're here, we'll set our altitude, we'll push that up button so it's in the thousands. We're going to be climbing up at 35,000 feet, wasn't it? 35,000 feet. And set this to our runway heading, and we're pretty much ready to get ready to take off. So we will, that's all set, takeoff data's all set. We now can close up the doors, get rid of that jetway, my faulty jetway that someone criticised me for, fair enough. Right, what we will do now is we will turn on all the fuel pumps, turn on all of the heating devices, and we will, what was the other thing I was going to do? Oh yeah, arm the doors. Ah, that's right, we're going to turn off the external power, and then we can disconnect that. And we can now start our pushback. And we'll just get our engine started, so we'll just go to crank A, anyone A or B, engine start, and then we just wait for this to spool up to 10% or more, then we can turn on the fuel. We'll turn on our transponder for the time being. Get all these lights all nice and bright. We can start our turn. Definitely looking forward to getting more into Flight Simulator. Definitely looking forward to flying the Airbus A330. Looking forward to that. That will do. I'll just stop it there, get rid of the pushback tug. And we'll set our TCAS to above so it can pick up all of the all of what's going on above us. Right, that's that engine started, and we can now turn on engine number 1. Oh, should have had the beacon light on. We'll turn on our taxi light because we'll be, and our turn off lights because we'll be going to move very soon. Can now introduce fuel. And let's have another look around here, make sure there's nothing else I need to do. We'll set our RF at sea level anyway, so we don't need to worry about setting our landing elevation. What we will do is we'll set this, we'll push the magic B button just to set our altimeters, and we'll just select this for when we climb out. We'll go into cruise once we go past that, and we can, yeah, right, that's the engines all started. Turn off the APU, and we can now taxi on out to the departure runway. And with this aircraft, flaps 15, slats 15 and flaps 15 for our takeoff. Going to select auto brake, and we'll just do the takeoff config, no warning, which means all of our takeoff performance is all correct. And away we go. As much as it's got that very, pretty much that free feeling to it, I do enjoy flying the A310. It is a really nice aircraft. Handles like a tank. I mean, it is a wide-bodied aircraft. It's supposed to fill that niche of wide-body but short routes, like your holiday destination routes. But it never really sold this aircraft. It never really hit the markets that it did. I think it was deemed the aircraft that was ahead of its time. What we will do is we'll turn on the TCAS now, just so we don't forget. Yeah, it definitely has that very heavy feel to it when you're taxiing. Still, it's classified as a wide body, so you need to go slow when you're doing your turns. It just feels like a tank when you fly this aircraft. It feels really sluggish, and yeah, it's almost got that military feel to it. Yeah, so this is very similar to the flight I did in real life. Instead of flying out of this airport, of course, I flew out of the new Bangkok airport, but I did that flight in the Malaysian Airlines 737-800. And I do like this livery. It's a really nice livery. The new livery looks really flash and modern, but I do like the sheet lines of this aircraft. Right. We will do a bit of oversteer because it's a big aircraft, and the nose wheel is quite far behind us, and we'll just wait for the sky to take off. And because we are crossing the runway and we're going to be not far from our takeoff runway, we'll just turn on our landing lights and our strobe lights, which is not linked up to any button on my joystick, so I have to do that manually. Right, we'll now head on to our departure runway, and we will go and depart out and head towards Kuala Lumpur. Definitely need to do some more Southeast Asia flights all around this region, but do it in Flight Simulator 2024, but I'm definitely hoping that one day they'll improve all of the water masks, as we pointed out in Koh Samui there. This whole area needs lots and lots of love. There's so much that they need to do for Southeast Asia as a whole. I hope they do a update for this area, one of those world updates for this area, because it really does need it. Criminally valued in the Flight Simulator world. I don't think there's been any actual attempts at in any platform to showcase Southeast Asia on Flight Simulator, so I really do feel like they should definitely do something for that region. Right, we're going to now brake, power up, spool up the engines, and we'll click this little magic, oh no, it's over here, that's right. Click the toga button and away we go. Yeah, this whole area definitely needs some love in regards to world updates, water masking, you name it. They need to do lots of stuff for this whole area. I think they've done Japan, got to give them credit for that, but yeah, this part of the world definitely needs Microsoft Flight Simulator Asobo's love. Right, departing Don Mueang on our second to last leg back home to New Zealand. A very slow aircraft. Right, we'll pull on out. The landing gear can now come up. I do like it, it's a nice aircraft. Right, I'm just going to go to autopilot now. Right, autopilot's on. Push the gear button one more time to turn it to off. And I didn't turn off the packs, but that's okay. Right, I'm just going to turn off the landing lights now and get myself set up for our cruise, and we'll leave you guys for the cruise, and we'll just speed up the video. Get this, that's just going to be our device button there, folks. Oh, and I forgot to do the nav. Flaps can come up now. Everything else we can disarm the speed brake, and we will turn on the weather radar actually, so we'll turn on the weather radar. There's not going to be any weather around here, and we'll go flaps up now. Actually, we'll keep the slats down until we get above that little marker there. Lovely aircraft, really cool to fly. As we skirt along the edges of Bangkok here, this is the big sprawling metropolis that is Bangkok. Lots of these little canals and stuff, so this whole area's got lots of canals, rivers, famous for its floating markets, and yeah, Bangkok's such a fascinating city. Lots to explore. Food is amazing. I love the food, street food. It's definitely considered a foodie's paradise. I'm going to go to profile mode now and speed it up. Let autopilot do its thing. Yeah, Bangkok, it's a really cool part of the world. Definitely highly recommend going there. It's not like Malaysia, it's got a bit more of a grimy, dirty feel to it. I mean, like, just, I feel Kuala Lumpur is quite a pristine city in many aspects. This is more like your, not quite India, but it's definitely got that feel to it, but it's just really cool city. I really like visiting Bangkok. Street food's just amazing. Massive sprawling city, lots going on, lots to see, lots to do. As we now sort of enter the further afield here. Right, we are going to probably leave you guys at that. I'll have a nice view outside for you. I'm just going to select sit mode. Yeah, we're going to cruise at 35,000 feet. And I think we have to select this to climb. We have to set that manually, don't we? Right, we'll let you guys go and we'll see you later on in the video, okay? Right folks, welcome back to the flight again. We will start setting up for our arrival into Kuala Lumpur. The weather radar's definitely working. You can see little thunderstorm cells out over there, so that's good, even though it's just your generic weather radar that doesn't really function as it possibly should. It's still good to see that, and I believe that the Phoenix will be implementing the basic weather radar, which just makes it complete in my opinion. So we are going to be landing on runway 32 right, which is this furthest runway here. Actually, that's predominantly a taking off runway, so we'll change it to 30. Yeah, we'll change the runway quickly before I get too close to 32 left, so that will mean we'll come off one of these taxiways here, then we'll just taxi on to our stand, so we'll change it to 32. Yeah, we'll change it to 32 left, so just have to change the arrival stays the same, but we'll be changing our don't worry folks, that's just me. Alright, we'll change it to 32 left. Add to the route. Don't know why this is happening. Thankfully that didn't disengage the autopilot, so that's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into here, we're going to go into our takeoff, landing. Oh, well, we'll need to change our flight plan actually before we do anything, because we've still got it on 32 right. So change this to 32 left. Still going to stay with the same arrival. Just enter it in anyway, so fully 1G. Transition is this one here. Insert. Right, and we'll start our descent, right? We'll enter in our final approach fix, which is going to be 35. And we just push down like so to the descent, and that will start our descent very soon, just like so. No idea, I'm just going to put the spoilers out just to slow that speed down, but I'm not too sure what's going on with this. Right, that's working now. And now we're going to enter in our RLS. So 11.9, and our course is going to be scrolling this way because it's faster. 326. So that's our RLS all set for when we are coming onto approach, and for our landing config, we're going to go for the flaps 2020, keep our speed up, and 288 is going to be our MDA. And before we do anything, we need to select flaps 2020 for our landing, so that will mean we keep our speeds up. And I believe it's more fuel efficient to fly like that, to be coming in at that speed, so we will enjoy the outside view as we're flying over the the highland region of Malaysia here. This is basically the spine of the country. Thankfully still got its, like, most of its rainforest, potentially there's tigers and stuff, and they're definitely different species of primates like your monkeys, really good habitat for your different bird species in this forest here. Probably elephants in here, and definitely there'll probably be leopards in here too. And we'll just focus on our, we're just going to go for the low auto brake. We don't have any calculator thing here, unfortunately. Not too sure what's going off profile. This is just one of those little bugs, I think. What we will do is we'll go to our flight plan, we'll clear that discontinuity that I've spotted. Oh no, there's no discontinuity, sweet, so it's all, everything's all set. Turn on the constraints so you can see what the constraints are. Like I say, it's nice flying this aircraft. It's definitely has that sense of a very big, heavy aircraft, even though it's a very short aircraft. It's got that wide body sort of feel to it. But being a freeware aircraft, it does have that sort of, I guess you could say it's got that sort of cheap feel to it. I definitely would have brought like a upgrade for this, because I do enjoy flying this, so if Inibuilds want to offer like a premium edition of this, I think it'll be gladly received. But apart from that, it's pretty good. I do really enjoy flying this aircraft. I just need to get it out a bit more, that's all. But it's following this nice complex arrival quite nicely, so that's all that counts really, is it does all it's intended to do. We'll select this to below, our TCAS to below, because we are descending, and we'll arm the speed brakes like so, make sure everything's sort of thereabouts all set for our arrival, our approach. But yeah, really nice aircraft. I do enjoy flying this. It just has that really nice big feel, even though it's a very compact aircraft. And we'll turn off our anti-ice now, because we will be coming into a very hot and humid Kuala Lumpur. Any ice that does form between now and when it starts heating up again will quickly dissolve. Nice aircraft. I really do like it. It's got a few, like I said, it's got a few like little cheap sort of feel to it, but I do hope that they do look at updating it, like I was saying. But apart from that, it still feels like a nice aircraft. It's still a lot of fun to fly. It definitely has a very capable VNAV too, by the feel, by the sound of it. That's working really well. Right, I might just take off the sim rate. It's getting a bit too jittery for me. And we'll turn off our weather radar now. We don't need our weather radar, and we'll go into terrain mode. And I think everything is pretty much set for our arrival. I forgot to set standard when I was leaving, so that's okay, no big issues. But what we will do is we'll turn on our landing lights, turn on our taxiway, turn on these two. Seatbelt signs can come on. Using a bit of spoilers just to get back on the VNAV profile. Little diamonds starting to raise now, which is good. And we'll go into speed mode now. We'll just select flaps, select our slats just to give us some bit more drag. And we'll go into heading mode, select our RLS, and we'll fly this just using the just flying it sort of manually in a way. Right, we'll start out, I think they call it the base turn. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. I'll remove the spoilers and just reset our speed brake activation, and we will slow this down just to under 200. Looks like we do have a speed restriction of 185 knots, so we'll set that. Select flaps 15. And we'll start our final turn onto approach. And our heading course is going to be 326. And while that's pulling around, we'll just activate our VOR localizer mode, and that will automatically take over once we hit our localizer mode. And that's captured now, so that's chasing the localizer. Don't know why it's doing this, so I'm just gonna don't know why it does that sometimes. I don't know what happened there, but right, once we're on the localizer, we will activate, well, might as well activate the land function now. And our go around altitude is going to be, oh, we don't need to change that, so that's perfect. Going to now select our speed to our 149, which is our landing speed. Landing gear can come down now. the flaps to the last setting, which is 20. 2020, perfect. Yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know why it went through my altitude that I've selected there. But we're back on profile, we're back on our approach, which is perfect. And it looks like it's going to be your classic smoggy a day here in Kuala Lumpur. Just make sure the speed brake's armed, auto brakes set to low. We'll just sync this up to our actual heading, our course. All of those are all on, and we can now just focus on our landing. And we'll now going to disconnect the autopilot. Don't know how to disconnect that sound, which is annoying.
300. Sync rate. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Here we are, folks. I'm just going to try and shut that thing off. And here we are, folks. We've arrived in Kuala Lumpur, and we will head on down to this taxiway up here, and we will park up, and that will be our flight over and done with. Alright, we're going to turn on the exhaust, the brake. Turn on the APU. Turn on the APU bleed, so that's all. So yeah, the brakes are quite hot, so we've turned on the brake fan, which is just over here, this little button. Clear these warnings. And we'll just find a free car park, and that will be our flight finished for today. Yeah, that's a relatively successful landing, just that autopilot thing. I need to set those controls, and for some reason it wouldn't respect that altitude that I had set there, so I don't know if that's just this type of aircraft or who knows. Right, you can also select that to transponder. I'll go select that back to above. Oh, you can also, if you push this little button here, you can increase the TCAS range to 12 nautical miles, which I forgot to do. No big drama or anything like that. It's good to know how to do that. And we can raise our flaps, which we just forgot to do. We'll turn off our taxi lights now, we don't need those. Turn off our runway turn off lights. And we'll take this turn here. And you can see the little terminal train that connects the satellite terminal to the main terminal. When you're a young adult and it's your first time overseas and you're used to Auckland Airport, that was a pretty cool thing to jump on when when I did this in real life. And a really good plane spotter perspective too, you can get some really good shots from there. And we'll take this turn here, we'll park up here, this will do us just fine. Perfect. Right, we will now power down the aircraft. And folks, that concludes our flight. One more flight to go after this. It'll be to end this series, that will be us returning to Auckland Airport, and then we'll do another flight to Rotorua. But apart from that, folks, that is us now finished our flight. So thank you so much for being a part of this flight. It went pretty smoothly, I reckon, apart from that little landing bit. And Malaysia is quite a unique airport. You get some pretty cool different airline types, such as this Turkmenistan airline. But I think I've already taken you guys for a tour of Kuala Lumpur when we came here the first time round. But yeah, apart from that, folks, I've enjoyed having you guys along with the journey, and thank you so much for being a part of this, and we'll see you again in the next video.